Post-war hopes for a better future are shared by another neglected community as well. Political prisoners detained indefinitely on grounds of suspicion under the infamous Prevention of Terrorism Act. A few weeks ago, several political prisoners across the country went on a hunger strike demanding their release. The strike was poorly reported, however, with election news predictably making the headlines. Authorities too took little notice, even though many prisoners were hospitalized due to deteriorating health. Our next story takes a closer look at the situation of Sri Lanka's political prisoners. What began as an ordinary day for Kirubakaran's family quickly became a nightmare, as his wife J. Ruby and his 2 children received news of his arrest.
கடையில் வேலை செய்து கொண்டிருக்க அந்த கடையில் வேலை செய்த ஒரு போயரால் இதை பிளஸ் இருக்கிற போல அவர் விட்டு ஓடிட்டார். அவருக்கு தேடி வந்து பிடிச்சி கொண்டு போனது இங்கேன்னு கேட்டு இந்த இது மனித உரிமைக்கு அவையில் வந்து இப்படி நாங்கள் கதைச்சி பார்க்குறோம், இப்படி இதில் தாங்க உங்களை இதெல்லாம் தாங்க நாங்கள் காய்ச்சி பார்க்குறோம்னு சொல்லி எல்லாம் கொடுத்துனாங்க.
2 years have gone by and J. Ruby's husband has still not been released or charged, but remains in prison, detained under the Prevention of Terrorism Act or PTA. In the hope that election time would result in some positive action, he, along with several other political prisoners across the country, participated in a hunger strike to draw attention to the injustice of their situation. Families of detained political prisoners showed their support as they took to the streets on the 13th of January 2010 to raise public awareness on this little-known and little-publicized issue. There are some 2,500 people detained under the PTA being held indefinitely without charge, some since as far back as the 1990s.
பிறகு தகப்பனை கொட்டைனா பரிசு வச்சுருந்தாரு, மகனை ஹாபர் போலீஸ்லேயே வச்சுருந்தாங்க. அவர் இல்லை, அவர் 2 மாதத்தில் அவரை வெளியில் விட்டு அவர் வருத்தம் வந்து இறந்துட்டார். அவர் அதுக்குள்ளே இருந்தால தகப்பன் அவரை விடுதலை செய்ய சொல்லி கேட்குறோம். ஒரு பிரச்சனையும் இல்லாமல் விடுதலை செய்ய.
எங்களோட மகனை பிடிச்சது வந்து 2008 3ஆம் மாதம் 16ஆம் தேதி ஃபோன் பண்ணி வர சொன்னவங்க. ஃபோன் பண்ணி வர சொல்லி காலையில் நான் தான் மூத்தவார் போலீஸு கூட்டி கொண்டு விட்டேன். விட்டோன்னே அவங்க சொன்னாங்க விசாரிச்சுட்டு விடுவோம், நீங்கள் போய் காலை சாப்பாடும் பால் சாப்பாடும் கொண்டு வாங்கன்னாங்க. காலையில் தான் ஃபோன் பண்ணி வர சொன்னவங்க. அப்போ நான் வந்துட்டேன், வீட்டுக்கு வந்தோடனே பின்னால் வந்து வீடெல்லாம் செக் பண்ணி பார்த்தாங்க. செக் பண்ணி பார்த்துட்டு ஒன்றும் இல்லை, போயிட்டாங்க.
13 நாள் உண்ணாவிரதம் இருக்கிறார், எந்த தண்ணியும் இல்லை, எந்த சாப்பாடும் இல்லை. ஆனால் அவர் கீழே விழுந்தோன்னா மரணம் அடைஞ்சிட்டார். எனக்கு அவரை தவிர எனக்கு யாருமே இல்லை. அவரை உழைச்சி தர வேணும். தயவுசெய்து ஆரண்டாலும் என்ன கணவரை காப்பாற்றி தர வேணும். எனக்கு அவரை தவிர வேறு யாரும் இல்லை. நான் அவர் வந்தால் நாங்கள் 2-3 பிள்ளைகளும் தற்கொலை பண்ணுவோமே தவிர எங்களுக்கு எந்த உதவியில் என்ன தாதாப்பன் கஷ்டப்பட்டு நாங்கள் எங்களுக்கு இருக்க நிலம் கூட இல்லை. அதனால் ஜனாதிபதியை கேட்குறேன், தயவுசெய்து என் கணவரை மன்னிச்சு கைதிகள் எல்லாரையும் விடுதலை செய்தருமாறு தாழ்மைட்டு கேட்குறேன். இங்கே எத்தனையோ பேர் இப்போ தப்பு செய்து, எத்தனையோ பேர் இயக்கத்தோடு இருந்து எத்தனையோ உயிர்களை கொண்டவியலையே விடுதலை செய்து அவிகளுக்கு பஞ்சாணிகளை மினிஸ்டர் பதவி கொடுத்து வச்சுக்கிறேன். இவங்களை எப்படிப்பட்டவங்க? இவங்க எந்த தப்பும் செய்யாதவங்க. தயவுசெய்து இதுக்கு ஒரு விடுதலை தருமாறு தாழ்மைட்டு கேட்குறேன் ஐயா.
அது සිරගවල්වල දෙමළ සිරකරුවන් උපවාසයේදී ඉන්නවා. මේ උපවාසයේදී ඉන්න සිරකරුවන් කියා සිටින්නේ අපව නිදහස් කරන්න කියලා. ඔවුන්ව නිදහස් කරන්නට නම් අද තිබෙන නීති රීති පළමුව වෙනස් කරන්නට ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ හදිසි නීති පනත, ඒ වගේම ත්‍රස්තවාදී වැළකීම් පනත, මේ පනත් දෙකේ තමයි ඔවුන් අත්අඩංගුවට තිබෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා පළමුවෙන් මේ නීති රීති ඉවත් කළ යුතුයි. දෙවෙනි කාරණාව, ඔවුන් මේ තත්ත්වයට පත් කළේ ඔවුන් ස්වේච්ඡාවෙන් පත් වෙච්ච අය නෙමෙයි. නිදහස ලැබුණාන් පස්සේ මෙහි ඇති වුණා වූ දේශපාලනය තමයි ඔවුන් මේ තත්ත්වයට පත් කරේ. ඒ නිසා ඒකට වග කියන්න ඕනේ ඒ පුද්ගලයන් නෙමෙයි, මේ රට පාලනය කරපු සියලුම පාලන පක්ෂ වග කියන්න ඕනේ. ඒ නිසා මේ පාලන පක්ෂය තමුන්ගේ ආරක්ෂාව සඳහායි මේ නීති රීති පනවාගෙන තිබෙන්නේ, ඔවුන්ව රඳාගෙන සිටින්නේ. ඒ නිසා අපි ඉල්ලා සිටින්නේ දැන් මේ දේශපාලන රාමුව, මේ සංස්කෘතිය වෙනස් කළ යුතුයි. එසේ වෙනස් කරන කල් දැන් අපි කියා සිටිනවා මේ අත්අඩංගුවේ ඉන්න මේ සියලු තරුණයන්ට ඔවුන්ගේ ජීවිත ආරක්ෂාව වෙති. ඒ ජීවිත ආරක්ෂාව ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන්කමක් තිබෙන්නේ සිරගෙදර ඇතුළේ නෙමෙයි ඔවුන් නිදහස් වෙලා මේ සමාජයේ කොටස්කරුවන් ලෙස ඔවුන් බාරගත් විසින්.
The movement for the release of political prisoners is made up of about 1,000 families of detained persons, all pushing for the release of their loved ones. All of these detentions have taken place under the provision of the PTA. In the 30 years of its existence, there have also been over 500 prisoners who have been charged and are currently serving their sentences.
අද යුද්ධේ නැත්තම් අද LTT සංවිධානයේ නැත්තම් මේගොල්ලන්ව තියාගෙන ඉන්න මෙතන තුරට අවශ්‍යතාවයක් නැහැ. එමනම් මේගොල්ලෝ නිදහස් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒ නිසා අපි කියන්නේ මේ හැම දිනම නිදහස් කරන්න. මෙතන ඉන්නෝ තීන්දුව දීලා අවුරුදු 20ට වැඩි ජීවිතාන්තය දක්වා තීන්දුව දීපු අය ඉන්නවා. ඒ වගේම තීන්දුව නොදී අවුරුදු 15 ඒ කියන්නේ මේ තාම නඩු නොදා ඉන්න අවුරුදු 15කට වැඩි පිරිසුත් ඉන්නවා. මේ වගේ විශාල පිරිසක් මේ වගේ තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා. අපි කියන්නේ මේ අය සියලු දෙනාම නිදහස් කරන්න. කාටවත් නඩු දාන්න අවශ්‍යතාවය. නඩු දානවා නම් සාමාන්‍ය නීතියට දාන්න. ත්‍රස්ත විමර්ශන පනතයට නඩු දාන්න එපා. ත්‍රස්ත විමර්ශන පනතයට නඩු දැම්මොත් වෙන්නේ අවමේ අවුරුදු 7යි උපරිමේ අවුරුදු 20ක් යවනවා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම. ඒක නීතිය කවුද ත්‍රස්ත විමර්ශන පනතයට අත්අඩංගුවට ගත්ත කෙනාව අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම හිරේ දාන්න ඕනේ. ඒ විදිහට තමයි පනත හදලා තියෙන්නේ.
Introduced in 1979, the PTA was originally intended to be in operation for a period of 3 years. However, this time limit was removed by Parliament in 1982, making it a permanent law in the country in regard to arrests, detention, investigation and punishment in what is described as the prevention of acts of terrorism in Sri Lanka. Rights activists have been calling for the repeal of the PTA, which has been blamed for the prevailing culture of impunity that has allowed extrajudicial killings, disappearances and unlawful arrests and detentions, as well as the practice of torture in recent years. The end of the war brought hope to families like J. Ruby's, and promises have been made in the run-up to elections about the release of political prisoners and the repeal of the PTA.
இப்போ விசாரணை முடிஞ்சோன்னு சொல்லி சட்டமானிட்ட ஃபைல் அனுப்பியாச்சு. இனி இது அங்கேருந்து ஃபைல் வந்தோடனே தான் முடிவு சொல்லுவாங்க.
For now, though, all she and others like her can do is wait and see if those promises will be kept or broken. Just how much did we, the public, unwittingly spend on this year's presidential election campaign? Find out after the break.